Welcome to Black River Academy in Ludlow. This is the third building to serve as the Academy. The first Black River Academy was built in 1835, 52 years after the first settlers came to Ludlow. Built of brick, it was located 400 feet southeast of the present building. At the time of its founding, no institution for learning, aside from the district schools, existed in southern Vermont. The first term commenced on March 9, 1835, with 35 boys and 85 girls. Tuition was $3 per quarter for Common English, $3.50 for Higher English and Ancient Languages, and $4 for Modern Language. There were additional charges for music and drawing. The first academy burned in 1844. Mrs. John Manning, the building cleaner, built a fire in the fireplace to heat water, and the fire spread. The bottom of the fireplace was a single layer of brick over a wood floor and was used only for lab work. Mrs. Manning did not know this, so she was not blamed for the fire. The second Black River Academy was the Old Union Church, built in 1819 and standing on the site of the present building. When the church was built, a bottle of rum, in accordance with local custom, was placed into the brick wall near the northeast corner. In 1850, Timothy Heald removed a few bricks and the rum. The theft was discovered in 1888 when the old church was torn down. The building you are now in was built in 1888 and 89 on the site of the old church. It would serve as the high school until Black River High School opened down the road. The cost for the third academy was $16,336.16. The work was done by Clinton Smith of Middlebury in the Richardsonian style. The tuition at the new academy was about $7 per term. Room and board for a week did not exceed $3. It was common for out-of-town students to board at area homes. Students who were preparing for college took a classical course which consisted of Latin, Greek, history, and mathematics. The majority of the students took Latin scientific and English courses. There was a fairly wide geographic distribution of students. 158 towns and cities in Vermont were represented, as well as 26 states and the District of Columbia. Students came from Canada and from Cuba. After the academy closed in 1938, there were many proposals for its use: recreation, an armory, a Masonic temple, a rifle range. Finally, in 1948, the building was leased as a convalescent home, first to Mrs. Annis Martin, then to Mrs. Allen Bostock. From 1968 to 1972, the building was idle. In that year, the Black River Academy trustees sold the building and grounds to the newly formed Black River Historical Society for the grand sum of $1. In the summer of 1973, it would open as a museum. The Academy can boast some notable graduates, the most well-known being our 30th president, Calvin Coolidge. Calvin grew up in nearby Plymouth and came to the Academy at age 13. In his autobiography, he wrote, "That was one of the greatest events of my life. The packing and preparation for it required more time and attention than collecting my belongings in preparation for leaving the White House." Calvin was known as the Dude of Black River Academy. He always carried a cane, wore a derby hat, and a starched dicky or shirt front. He had a side business selling mail-order jewelry to his classmates. Athletics did not interest him outside of the occasional baseball game. In the spring of 1890, Calvin's senior year, his sister Abby, also an Academy student, died of appendicitis. Several months later, Calvin graduated from the Academy, where he gave a speech on oratory in history.
To estimate the degree in which oratory has influenced the history of the world would be difficult, but the history of every country and of every age turns with miracles wrought by this form. Oratory, as every schoolboy knows, was the master spirit of both great nations of antiquity, Greece and Rome, and plays an important part in modern nations.
Pranks were common at the academy when Calvin attended. One morning, when the janitor was starting the furnace, he heard a braying sound from one of the classrooms, and upon investigation found a donkey that had spent the night. All the boys were questioned, including Calvin. His response, "About as far as I deem it prudent to discuss my own connection with these escapades, is to record that I was never convicted of any of them and so must be presumed innocent." John Garibaldi Sargent, a Ludlow native and Academy graduate in 1883, served as Attorney General in Coolidge's administration from 1925 to 1929. Another Ludlow native and student at the Academy, Abby Hemingway, wrote the Vermont Historical Gazetteer, a history of Vermont's 14 counties. She died before she could finish the 14th county, Windsor, where Ludlow is located. Ida Fuller, a Black River student, was the recipient of the first Social Security check. It was issued on January 19, 1940 for $22.54. Frank Agan, another BRA alumnus, invented a vacuum cleaner, which you can see in the first floor exhibit. He was instrumental in establishing the woolen industry in Ludlow. One of the most beloved teachers and coaches at the Academy was Howard "Pop" Dorsey, whose career spanned over 43 years. He actually wore out a Ford car carrying students to ball games and to the lake for swimming. One of the athletic fields in Ludlow is named for him. Milton Moore, class of 1928 and longtime educator, deserves the lion's share of the credit for saving this building. It is his hard work and vision that made this museum possible. Other BRA graduates donated their time and furnishings. Although not a Black River Academy graduate, Paul Harris, founder of Rotary Club International, did attend for several semesters. He started the Rotary in 1905 in Chicago. Currently, there are over 24,000 clubs in over 165 countries. The first floor contains Academy offices, a small gift shop, and a library. Calvin Coolidge's School Days exhibit is in the front hall. There are two large exhibit rooms. One has a Victorian house and was designed and created by Black River High School Advanced Placement History students. The other exhibit room depicts Ludlow's Main Street around 1900. It was designed and created by Black River 8th graders under the guidance of high school students. It was common in secondary schools of this era to have separate stairs for girls and boys. Be sure to choose the right one when you go up to the second floor and notice the wear on the stairs from hundreds of students. The second floor was used as the assembly room. The friezes around the walls were made by graduating classes over the years. They are done in a classical style. Be sure to see the Finish exhibit, the largest collection in Vermont. The Vanishing Barns exhibit and the Flood exhibit were done by Ludlow Elementary 6th grade students. A unique item is the sheep treadmill. One room on the third floor has an 1890 classroom with a collection of Black River Academy memorabilia. The adjoining room features a new exhibit on Black River High School, which closed in 2020. On your way to the educational exhibits on the third floor, stop and ring the bell, which is still rung on special occasions. The bell was made in Troy, New York, and was given by Black River graduate Daniel Heald. It has a perfect A sound and weighs 1,017 pounds. Restrooms are located on the first floor in the front hall. To access the elevator, go through the Victorian room on the first floor and bear to the left. Enjoy your visit to our museum. We leave you with some thoughts about the Academy from President Coolidge. Going away to school was my first great adventure in life. Going to the Academy meant a complete break with the past and entering a new and untried field, larger and more alluring than the past, among unknown scenes and unknown people. While it had some distinguished alumni, the great body of its former students were the hard-working, everyday people that made the strength of rural New England.